Hey friends and family, welcome to Marcie Creates. This is Marcie, and boy am I so happy to be back. Let me tell you, the flu is no joke. The flu this year is really no joke. If you can avoid it, I would at all costs. Keep yourselves healthy, because that thing was no fun. And I am so delighted to be back doing what we do best, which is our fun color inspiration. And I did do a teaser for this, I think, in my last video. Literally, I think I blinked and 2 weeks went by. That's what happens when you get sick. So I'm alarmed that it's already December, and I'm still playing with this bargain bead box, but I don't think we've gotten the new one yet, so we still have time. So today, this is the palette, of course, that came with the bargain bead box, Holiday Cheer. And for those of you who've not been watching, we like to add colors and do a new palette based on the bargain bead box as sort of an inspiration. So again, we have our palette here, which is, and I'll pull out my little swatch. Oops. Here we go. So this is our swatch that we've been using, and this was a photograph of some holiday ornaments, and so lots of jewel tones. So this is what we've been playing with. I did bring in some bronze, more gold. We have just a tiny hint of blue that came with the box, so I added more blues right here. And then we've got a fuchsia and a more purpley fuchsia and a more pinky fuchsia. And then, of course, the green and the red, which are opposites on the color wheel. So I did hint at what we were going to use. We were going to use this really pretty focal piece that I had in my stash. I know a lot of people did not care for the focal pieces that came in the box, so by all means, dig out something that you like. And I've just brought in a few little black beads, some seed beads to kind of coordinate with this. And we are not going to be using any blues today. We're going to stick with the color palette in the pendant. So we are going to pull the blues out of here. I think last time, the last necklace we did, the vintage Santa, we used blues, but we didn't use any of the purples or the fuchsias. So this time, we're going to be using fuchsias and purples. There's the fuchsia. And I did beef up our gold. I pulled some more gold out of my stash. This is what came in the box. And I've added some bronze and some silver. And then I'm going to be using a different color SoftFlex. I was using an emerald color, I believe, in the last couple of projects that we did. We're going to use some peridot today, which still is a really pretty color and is still very reminiscent of these pretty crystal cube beads that we have. So one of the things I could tell you is just trying to get my stamina back from being ill. I did not want to do a complicated piece, of course. I think, and this is just me, when you're getting back into, and I have literally not made any jewelry. This will be the first time I've made jewelry since I was ill. So I think when you come back from, I don't know, vacation, you take a little break, or you've been ill like I have, it's best to be gentle with yourself and not give yourself something so complicated that you're going to get frustrated. So that's why we're going to do just a simple stringing and just play with the colors today, which I think is a great way to just get back into the swing of making jewelry and enjoying what you're doing. So I'm going to move some pieces up here, and we're going to, of course, work on our focal piece first, which pretty much, I like it just the way it is. I am going to add just a little bit to it, but I'm not going to go bananas. I could go bananas, but we'll save that for later when I have the stamina. And for those of you who reached out to me, thank you so much. You all are just so sweet. All your notes of encouragement were so kind, and I so do appreciate it. Oh, and while I was off, I'll show you this cute little, let me move this little tray that I got. I'll link the store down below. But I had a little tray made for me called Eye Candy. And I just like to have little dishes like this, you know, for playing around with the beads. I have another one that says Marcie Creates, and I don't know where I put it. But I will link the shop. It was an Etsy shop. And you can customize little plates like this. So that came while I was convalescing. We are going to use this little lobster claw. Oops. And I just dropped him. We'll go for him later. But this is kind of a gunmetal, which, so we're not going to use the gold today either, by the way. That's right, we're not using the gold. We're going to stick to silver and bronze. And then this lobster claw is going to be in the back, so you won't see it. But I did want to have little nods from the black in the piece, which is why we have these little fire polish beads. So, that being said, I thought it'd be really cute to maybe just have a little bit of a beaded element here for the middle of our necklace. So I have these really pretty kind of all different colored, this is more of the purpley fuchsia, if you will. We have these really cute bellflowers. I think we used these in another project, but I didn't know how I wanted to use some of these. And I think this guy's a little too big. Maybe these are too big. Although I do like the color. But we could do, this little heart's cute. We could put a little heart. Or we could use one of these. So my thought is, of course, to pick up the pops of red and some pops of these. I love these little guys with the black stripes. They kind of pick up the striping here. Nice little graphic element. So some of these would be cool. So we're just going to play. Of course, I don't have a plan. And I like the different tones of these purples. In fact, I really like, see how light that is? That kind of picks up this light back here. So I have some of those seed beads pulled out and some of these. And then I thought little pops of green, like we have here, these are some of the ones that came in the box. We've got these beautiful cube beads, which I think echo the shape of our focal piece nicely. And I like the different shades of green. So we'll definitely use some of these. And fuchsia, we're going to want maybe a little bit more of the fuchsia. Again, this is going to be a simple stringing. We do want to do pops of red. There's pops of red in our pendant. And we definitely got some red in our box. And these are kind of bronzy gold, but I think they'll be fine. Oops. So I'm just going to pull a few things out here. We got the bicones that I added. We have the little red. I think the bicones came in the mix, actually. I'm trying to remember now. It's been so long. Or it feels like it's been so long. I swear it feels like years when you're down for the count like that. It's amazing how fast time goes by. So for now, let's concentrate on our piece here. So I think I was liking this heart. It is kind of a sideways heart, but I think it'll be cute. And we are going to use some of the SoftFlex wire. My thought was to do a loop of the SoftFlex wire and then do a crimp bead and then float our little heart right here. And maybe we'll put a little green bead here. And maybe we'll do a red bead here. Or maybe we should pick up the lighter purple. I think I like that better. So let's do that first. So here is so this is peridot. Very pretty color. Thought it would look nice with our colorway that we have going. If I can get it off of here. That's the other thing. My fingers don't want to work either. They've been on vacation. So things that are second nature, you know, when you don't do it for a while, you have to relearn it almost. But I thought that was really pretty with that. And you know I love some SoftFlex, so we're going to pull out a generous amount of this. Give it a cut. All right. Let me scooch this stuff up here. Yeah, so Thanksgiving was a blur. I did not eat with my normal gusto because I just didn't have an appetite. But I did get to see family. I was well enough to see them, but I was just so tired. And boy, I tell you, getting over that thing was like getting better by inches. Every day I thought, maybe I'll feel a lot better tomorrow. And every day it was just be like a tiny bit of improvement, but not much. All right. Oh, we are going to need some crimp beads. And I think I have some in here somewhere. I probably hid them from myself. I'm good at that. I hope you all are doing well. Here we go. Here's one. So I'm using a gold one. I'm going to cover it with a crimp cover, so I'm not too worried about it. So literally, I'm just going to string this. You know, halfway. Let me move this guy up. We'll just keep our pile over here. Boy, that is some curly wire. All right, there we go. But I think it'll be very pretty. So we're going to add our crimp bead, because I do want the wire to show. I think, especially when you're using SoftFlex, the colors are so pretty. I love to see. I think it really enhances the piece. And I thought it'd be just nice to have like a nice little oblong loop like that. So we will go ahead and crimp this and make sure that our wires are not crossing. And you can use the magical crimp tool if you want, of course, or your regular fold over crimp, whichever you prefer. I'm going to use my fold over today. Okay. And so we have our very pretty SoftFlex showing. Now I'm going to do that little heart piece. So a couple of seed beads here. And I think both of these will fit through here. Hopefully they will. If not, we're going to have to go to plan B. That's cute. I do love hearts. I like them in all. I tend towards those when I'm shopping for things. Hearts I'm always drawn to heart shapes. I guess you could say I'm a lover, not a fighter. Definitely peaceful person here. Okay, so we've got our little focal. And then I thought we could just kind of come off from here and do some stringing, just some simple stringing in a nice pattern of some kind. Again, I don't have a plan. I do want to pull out a little bit of, let's see, do we want to do some bead caps? I do want to mix my metals. We are also going to use some black beads, and these little tiny green seed beads are for the end. I'll show you what we're going to do with those in a minute. So I know I'm just dumping everything, but hey, whatever works. Okay, so I really like these. I want to definitely, let's see if we can do some, what I call stations, and then we can stack the stations. So I like these. I definitely want to stack some of these fuchsia beads. And I think I want to go for some type of contrast. So what do I mean by that? So I've got these, and I thought maybe having a cube on either side would be an idea, or maybe come in and do a stack where we've got a fuchsia, two of the kind of purpley beads. Maybe we want to do, I thought the black beads would be nice for the middle of the station. In between the stations, I mean. And by stations, I just mean little sections of patterns that we can attach. Let's see. I do like the green and the red. I like that little element. And how does that look with a little black bead? That looks cute. And then maybe our fuchsia and another little black bead. And then maybe a lighter purple. Maybe we want to do our red. That might be a bit busy. So let's break it down. Maybe we want to do stacks instead. So there's a stack of color. Maybe we'll do, I think I'm gonna like the stacks of color better. So 3 or more colors. You see what I'm doing here? I hope you can see this. Let me scooch in a little. Make sure you can see what I'm doing. Pull this up a little. Ooh, avalanche. Anyway, I'm making stacks of color. Then we can stack some of these. I love these. These are so cool. And gotta make sure we have enough of these too. So this is one side of the necklace. We'll make sure we have enough. Red. We just want little pops of red. There's just a few pops in this pendant, so I'm kind of trying to mimic when I do things like this. So this is something I think about when I pick a pendant. Like, say you don't have a bead box, okay, but you have this pendant and you pull things out of your stash that you want to go with this. I also pay attention to the amount of color that's in the pendant. So in other words, you just have little pops of red here. So in echoing that in my design, I'm just going to put little pops of red. There's more green than there is red, so I may use more green. And then there's a whole lot of this kind of lilac color. Oh, that was what I wanted to do. I wanted to also do some of this lilac color. Let me push these aside here. And I found these number 6 seed beads that we used. I like those a lot. They really look nice. So we'll do that. Let me move these over. So here is our stack. And I do want to, in fact, I think at the beginning of this, let's do some of these lavender. I want to do some smaller beads down here so that it hangs nicely. So let's do about 5 of those. Lilac, kind of glossy. They're really pretty color. And this is a great way to use number 6 seed beads. If you look, these are not very uniform. So I would not do any bead weaving with these. But for stringing, they're perfect. You scooch back out just a little. So now I'm going to do the other side. Just grab about 5 of those. Again, my fingers don't want to cooperate. Getting back to normal is something, but I do feel much, much better. And I had great ideas. I got some great ideas for some stuff coming up for us for 2023. So my brain was working, so I was using my brain. I just wasn't using my videos or my body. So, whoops. Sorry about that. Hit the camera. All right, so let's see. I'm going to do a bead cap. Is that the same? Do make sure you have the same bead caps out. Although, as we've done before, we've mixed them. And that's fine too. So I like the way that looks. I do want to add a darker bead. I think I'm going to put the darker beads in between these. I said I was going to stack them, but I think I've changed my mind. And I'm only going to put bead caps on that first one. Oops. Let's see how that looks. Again, I like to string on one side pretty much. And that way, if I change my mind, I just have to change the one side. So I do like that. Very pretty. Then maybe we'll come in with a pop of red. Maybe we'll use one of these little bicones. I think that might be better than the bigger bead. And then we'll do a stack of... So I had a thought of stacking the green with the saucer. Let's see how this looks. I may not do this, but I want to see how it looks. I don't know where I got these saucers, but they're super cute. I love the texture on the edges. And it adds a little graphic element, which I like. So that's kind of cute. I think I like that. Let's do another red. A black. For those of you who are just joining us or have not joined me before, I do have about 80% of the people that watch my YouTube aren't subscribed. So if you do enjoy my channel and you've not subscribed, I would just love to have you. Please hit that subscribe button. It does help my channel. And we have a great group on Facebook. I look under groups under Marcie Creates. We post inspirational things there. Great group of folks. Everybody's very like-minded as far as inspiration, and you can post your projects there. We all love to see that. So I think I really like this pattern. So I think I'm going to continue on this side and then see where I want to go with it. So let's find more bead caps. That first one had a bead cap. This is a very pretty color. It's not really periwinkle. I don't know what color you would call that. Let me know in the comments what you would call this really pretty purple. I really like it. And I don't want to take away from the focal piece. So that's why I'm going kind of simple and just picking up. I may pick up a little more green, maybe back here. Maybe I'll pick up a darker green. So I think that would be a really pretty contrast. We'll see how that looks. So now we want to go in with our dark bead. And this is not going to be, I'm not going to string this all the way up either. I want some of the SoftFlex to show. I just really love that stringing material, and I want it to be part of the design. I would recommend, you know, the SoftFlex has some other really great beading wire. So if you're going to use a non-color, you could bead all the way up for sure. I just think it's so supple, and the beads just glide onto their product. I just love it so much. So now we're going to do our cube beads and saucer beads. These look very tribal, these saucer beads. I like them. All right. Yeah, so in my delirium, I had lots of ideas, which is great. So I'm excited. It's going to be, 2023 is going to be very cool for the channel. So also, if you don't hit the notification, if you hit the notification, I can speak. If you hit the notification bell, hope I said that correctly, then you also get notified when I upload new videos. We will continue with the Tutorial Tuesdays. I know everybody likes those. And of course, we will continue with color inspiration, because that's a biggie. But I have some other ideas. So stay tuned. There are going to be some shorts, some shorter videos. Just quick, you know, here's a quick project or technique type thing. I do want to address new people who are just learning how to make jewelry. Those will be some videos coming up and more, so stay tuned. So what we have right now, I think I really like. I like the feeling. And the question is, how far up do you want to go? So this piece is nearly 2 inches. You got almost 3 inches in, well, a little over 3 inches in your pendant. So if we come down here, the actual necklace is going to be at least 24 inches. And I think I'm going to bead up to about maybe here. So let's continue. I'm looking at these beads to see if I want to do anything. Oh, I did want to add, I did mention adding these darker green. So let's do that. So this little gem, I think these are some faceted crystals that came in the box. So we're not using too many things that came in the box. We're using the cube beads and these little bicones and these little gemstone faceted rondelles right now. And that's, you know, it's up to you. It's your box. So let's see. Do we want to continue doing this? We could. I don't think I have enough of these guys. So, but I do want to echo what I did. So let's pick up our idea with the bead caps. Let's make sure we have enough bead caps. Let's see. That's a different one. I just literally picked up what I had started with earlier last month. So some of these, and I don't mind mixing bead caps either. I just want each station to match. So these guys are a little bit different, but I think they'll still work and they match. And also, it is a little bit different. Oh, and between each station, we are doing our little black bead. So let's do a little black bead. And then we'll do just think odd numbers and patterns whenever you're stringing. I think that's what's most pleasing to look at. And you'll know if you like it or not. I mean, if you feel like it's too busy, wow, those are really too big for that bead, I think. All right, so plan B. Plan B is going to be saucer beads. Okay? I thought those bead caps were too big. That's just me. If you like them, keep them. It's your design. You make the rules. I like that. Okay, so we'll do this other side. Here we go. All right. Oops, we forgot our black bead. See how easy that is to fix, though? Forgot our black bead. Yeah, got to get back in the swing. I did go back to my day job last week, but boy, it was tough. Boy, at 5 o'clock, I was back in bed. Let me tell you. Boy, I hope y'all don't get this. Just do whatever you can to just keep yourself healthy. And if you do end up with it, God bless you. You have my sympathies, and just rest. That's all I can say. All right. So now let's do another black bead. I'm trying to echo kind of what I did at the beginning. It's going to be a little bit different because I'm running out of some beads. That's okay. I think if you do little echoes of the same thing, then it still makes sense visually to the person looking at it and to you as well. So there is that. Let's grab some more dark green. Ah, I am so sorry. Oh, yep. I have my camera down kind of low, because I don't want you to miss anything. But then again, I get carried away and then I smack the camera, so sorry about that. All right. So now we have these cube beads. So we'll grab, maybe we'll do a saucer, a cube, and a saucer this time. Let's see what that looks like. That's fun. I'm not mad at that. Okay. I love these cube beads, by the way. I think they're my favorite beads that came in the bead box this month, or last month. We should be getting a new one, I think, a new bead box here shortly. All right, let's do another little red. Another little pop of red. Another black bead. I just get so much joy out of just stringing. It's very therapeutic. Okay, so let's see where we're at with our length. Maybe just a little bit more. So let's grab some more of our lilac. So yeah, Thanksgiving when you're sick, you just don't eat with the gusto that you normally do. And everything tasted wonderful, but you just don't have an appetite, you know. But I was glad to be able to see family. And when we drove to my cousin's house, she lives an hour from us, and it was really gray and gloomy and rainy, and then lots and lots of fog. So we made the decision to spend the night at her place in her guest room, which was very smart. I would not have wanted to drive home in the dark with that. It was like pea soup. You really could not see. So I was kind of glad. And it was nice because then we could have coffee with her in the morning. My cousin Karen. Hi, Karen, if you're watching. And they did watch a few of my videos. A couple of my aunts and uncles were in town that had not seen my videos. They watched a couple of my videos and subscribed, so that was nice. All right, so I'm going to do a little bit more. A little bit more. Let's see. Let's do some more green. I think we'll do a green, a black. Let's do a saucer bead. As I get closer to the end of a design, I do like a smaller little stack, if that makes sense. Use a green bead. That's cute. Cute. With a capital Q. Just kidding. Oh, we need our green. See, I start yapping. I forget colors. But I'm just so delighted to be able to speak without coughing. My goodness. I was a little worried to do the video today, thinking I might end up coughing, but thank goodness I am not having that problem. I made a lot of soup when I was sick. I made potato soup, clam chowder, lots of clam chowder because I can make it pretty fast. It's one of my favorites. And then we had chicken soup from the freezer that we've made. You know, we get those chickens. I don't know if you get those chickens that are already roasted at the grocery store, but we always make soup from what's left from those. And or stock or, you know, and then we freeze it. So we have it. And so, fortunately, we had a lot of that. So we were in good shape because my poor mom and I were both sick and neither one of us wanted to cook. All right. So I like this a lot. And I think we're going to end it up here. And I'm going to do a little seed bead technique to make the loop for our lobster claw clasp. I need to retrieve the lobster claw clasp from the floor because I dropped it. So let me grab that and I will be right back. I'm back. Did you miss me? So I am going to show you kind of what I like to do. Sometimes, you know, I just like to make a little seed bead loop for lobster claw clasps. It adds color to your design and it's kind of fun to do. And you just need a few little seed beads. I'm going to be using these little green seed beads here. If I can pull them out of the... And I generally do about, let's see, 15 of them. 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. 17 sounds like an odd number, and it is. But I just like the size of that loop. So that's what I'm going to do. So, let's see, how much do we want to do here? I am thinking, well, I'll give myself a little bit of leeway here. So I'm going to cut this. I will use these for sure for some earrings. So be looking for those in a finished jewelry update. And I'm going to attach my lobster claw first. Let me find my, I know I have some more crimpolas. There we go. Boy, I'm messy today. Anyway, hey, if you're not having fun if you're not making a mess, right? So, I'm just going to put my lobster claw, and I did pick a gunmetal to kind of coordinate with the pendant down there. And I'm just going to make a loop with my SoftFlex. You don't want it super tight. You want it to be able to move. And I'm going to use my fold over crimps. And we're just going to crimp it. Make sure your wires are not crossed. Let me crimp that a little better. There we go. And then you just fold it over. I'm going to put some crimp covers on that. If you use the magical crimping tool, of course you don't have to use crimp covers. I've used that in a few videos. That'll probably be one of my shorts that I do in the future. So there is that. And now for the little technique I was telling you about. You're going to put your crimp bead on first. I'm just going to make sure these are lined up correctly. Okay, we're gonna, may have to check it again, but basically, I am right-handed. You're gonna just scoop your beads up with your SoftFlex if they're gonna cooperate. Come on, mister. And I think I counted out 17 of these. And I'm just making a beaded loop. I sometimes do this when I want to switch stringing materials. It's another way to add color and texture to your necklace. And it's a fun way to, like I said, switch out your stringing material. So I could attach chain to this. I may have to use less seed beads, but let's see. Because I want to make sure these are even. I've got 5 left, so this is 12. No, I think I can add more. Maybe we'll do 15. 15 to 17. These are number 11 seed beads, and they're not very uniform. So you will have to eyeball it if you do this technique. If you're using seed beads that are not super uniform, like Delicas are super uniform. And I'm just trying to make sure that we're not going to have a big change in length. That looks good. So we're going to do 15 instead of 17. And this is the only thing I would caution you on. You don't want to crush your beads. So what I do is I slide this in here and I just gently, you want to just gently press it. Sometimes if you smash too quick and too hard, you'll get a hold of one of those seed beads and it'll crack. It's not a big deal if that happens. I mean, you may lose a bead with this technique. This is going to be in the back of the necklace, so again, it's not as critical as the front. I would just take your time and be cautious. And get rid of your little extra. And then I'm going to grab some covers. I have some gunmetal crimp covers that I'm going to use. Remember, we used a gold crimp. Now, if your crimps match and you don't want to use the crimp covers, you don't have to. I can only get my hands on the gold crimps. So remember, at the beginning of this necklace, we put a crimp. So I'm going to put a little crimp cover over that. Let me grab my flat nose pliers. You just want to gently press those. This is something I'm still having to finesse myself, so give yourself grace, as Sarah Lovecraft likes to say. So there's that. I like that expression that she uses, and I totally agree with her. Just got to give yourself a minute to do it right. Here is our beaded loop. Let me get this on here. And you'll find too that sometimes, like this guy wants to be crooked. Let me try this guy. Sometimes you got to use a different one. So if you got one that's not a crimp cover that's not cooperating, try a different one. Or try it at a different angle. And it may work out better for you. This is also a time when you don't want to smash one of your seed beads. So take your time. Okay. Let's see if this works better on this one. Come back here. I think of those little roly-poly bugs. Remember those from the garden? These little crimp covers remind me of those. Little roly-polies. We used to like to collect them on recess. Little roly-polies for your necklaces. Let's see if I can get in here and close that a little better. There we go. So now you can take your lobster claw. Make sure your lobster claw too is big enough that it's going to fit around your beads. I've done this a lot, so uh-oh. Looky there, our lobster claw is broken. Oh dear. See that? Well, that's a bummer. That is a bummer. Well, there's no way to really fix that, unfortunately. Gosh. I did not realize that when I pulled it out of my stash. So, if that happens, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have to make this a little shorter. And I will do that off camera. But what you're going to do, since this guy doesn't have a little, see that? You're going to cut here, okay? And then you're going to just make your loops down here. And let's do that. So you can see. So I'm going to do the lobster side first. Ah, what a bummer. Okay, so, gosh. I did not realize that. So let me pull out another lobster. Hope I can find one. I don't know where in the world I put those. Ah. Multi-lobster clasps. Ta-da! That is a bummer. All right, so let's see here. Let's make sure before we do anything else. All right, so that one is intact. So, helpful hint from Heloise. Check your components before you string. Hey, you learn from me. If I make a boo-boo, it's going to happen to you too, probably. So we're just going to start over. We're going to add our crimp. We're going to add our lobster. Fold it over. Make sure it's got enough room. Make sure your wires are not crossed. Crimp. Fortunately, this is not super complicated to close. All right. Let's do the other side. So this happens, you know. As you can see, it happens to the best of us. So I'm just gonna resurrect these beads right here. If I can get in there without crashing one of them. There we go. So really all we're out is some wire and some crimps and some crimp covers. It happens. What can I say? So we're going to come back in here and we'll scoop up our beads and we will make another loop. But as I was saying, you want to make sure your lobster claw jaws are going to fit around your seed beads. So if you use too big of seed beads and a small lobster, it's not going to clasp on. Was what I was trying to say before I realized that we had a broken lobster claw. That's no fun. And I'm just getting these on here now, and then we'll slide them back down so that we can make everything even. So yeah, if that happens to you, and I always like to make things long, because you never know at the ending what, you know, if you have to trim a little, it's always better to have too much wire than not enough. And that's a perfect example of why you might want to use more wire than you think. You get to the end and something like that happens, you don't have to restring your whole project. Which, this is a pretty simple project. It wouldn't be a big deal to restring it, but it would be a bummer. And I certainly wouldn't do that on camera with you, but you know what I mean. We've all had those situations. So let's see. So we're going to make our loop again. Come up here. Oops. Can be finicky at the end. I do need to make that a little bit longer because we want our stuff to match up. It's not going to be perfect, but you want enough wire that you can crimp easily without smashing your beads. Ah! Look at that. So, yeah. Only lost a few. This is where you get stressed and you want to rush through something because you just want it done. And here's where I'm going to say and try to take my own advice. Take a deep breath and take your time. You know what you're doing. You just need to relax. Get a little Zen moment. Recollect yourself. We are going to try to make this. There we go. I think that's as far as I dare to. It's still a little off. Very careful. And you also want to hold your breath right now and don't do it. Take a deep breath. All right. I think I've got it. Okay. Come in with your pliers. Gentle. It wouldn't be a video without dropping beads anyway, right? Okay. So, are these perfect? No. I probably will come back and maybe adjust that. It's just a hair off. I don't think in the large scheme of things it's going to be a big deal wearing it. But, there's your clasp. Okay? And so what I was saying is, make sure you got enough room to fit that in there. I hope you saw that. I didn't realize I was so close up. But this is what you want. And I'll put the crimp covers on off camera, because since you already watched me do that. But this turned out pretty nice, I think. It's a simple come back from convalescent project. Let me get some white paper. So we can really see the colors nicely. I do love this pendant. I have had this pendant a while. I think I bought it at Hobby Lobby years ago, and never did anything with it. And then here comes this bead box that we want to play with. So, yeah, a few mishaps. A little new technique if you like the seed bead idea. If not, you can just make another loop, or you could attach a jump ring here. So no big deal there. I do like the little heart. I love this pendant, and I like that we brought in some black and some graphic materials. You know, a little bit of grounding to all these colors. You got some sparkle, of course, and some really pretty, I don't know, kind of, it's not a periwinkle, kind of a fuchsia purple, and then a more true fuchsia. And I think it just turned out really nice. I love this little heart at the very beginning. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much again for all your sweet comments while I was trying to get well. It meant a lot to me. You just have no idea. I was kind of panicking. I was thinking, gosh, these people are going to think I'm not, making any more videos. And so I did try to put out, messages. So be looking for those if you ever are wondering. I do try to post what's going on with me if for some reason I have either technical difficulty, if I'm ill, or if something's come up. But you all are just the best subscribers. I just can't thank you enough. And again, those of you who are watching or have watched me and enjoy these videos, but haven't subscribed, I'd love to have you, and it sure would help my channel. So please hit that subscribe button. I really would appreciate it. Anyway, have a great evening. Tutorial Tuesday we will have this week, along with another little surprise project that I have planned for the end of the week. So be looking for that. Take care of your sweet selves and your families. Be safe. Please, please be healthy. And I will see you on the next video.